Good morning, Rajalakshmi. Thank you for joining in today's feedback session. How are you?
Good morning, Deep. I'm fine, Deep. How are you?
I'm good as well. So, how was your last interview?
Yeah, it's nice.
It was nice. So, do you think that you have improved in the last interview?
Yeah,
Definitely, you have improved a lot. Okay, but there are few some challenges at the moment that we are going to highlight and also tell you so that you can work on that, and the next interview will improve more. Okay, so
okay.
you have shown a good amount of improvement. So we are happy with your performance. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
So I'll share my screen and we'll check all the questions and the required feedbacks.
Okay.
Are you able to see my screen, everyone?
Yeah,
Yes, we can.
Okay, I'll start with the. I'm doing good as well. Thank you for asking. So Rajlakshmi, before we proceed, can you please? So this is the best part that happened that you applied the feedback of the previous interview. I told you that always greet with a smile, which you have done, and also you have asked the interviewer that how are you. Okay, so if you can see, the mood only got changed. So I started smiling when you asked, right? So it is very important that during the
yeah,
time of interview to make these personal gestures. So good job on that. So the only area that is required is the light. So right now, if you
okay.
see the entire video, it's a shadow. So it's very
Yeah,
important to put light in front of you. Okay.
okay.
So the next time onwards, just ensure that you don't miss on that. Please
Okay.
introduce yourself.
Yes. First of all, I thank you for giving me this opportunity to introduce myself. My name is Rajalakshmi. I have completed electronics and instrumentation engineering in JPI Engineering College. I have worked in Wipro for 2 years. Due to family emergency, I have resigned. I have quit from my work. During my gap, I have helped my father to do his business. And then during my gap, I have researched many various technologies in order to rebuild my career once again. I found that I learned about Java, automation testing, manual testing. I developed an interest over the year. I learned about the things, and I thought this will be suitable for me to rebuild my career once again.
Right. So over here, you you described your journey nicely. However, it was looking like, if you see, it is looking like you are reading a script, right? After this happened, after this that happened. So there should be a flow in your answer. That what you should say that you have done in Wipro. You should instead of, you have mentioned that you were working in Wipro, but you did not mention in which domain you were working. So mention that I had been working this. It was a great experience. So appreciate the work that you have done. Okay, tell that it was a great experience over there. However, so these are some terms that you can use. That however, due to some family emergency, I had to quit my job. Uh, it I was very disheartened at that time that I had to quit my job, but it was very important for me to support my family. My father was running a family business, and it was really getting down, and he was getting into depression. So the emergency was there in the family, and I did not like the thing that was happening to my father. So I stepped up and helped my father in his business, and right now everything is fine at the moment. So I am once again looking forward to rebuild my career that you have mentioned, and it is career, not carrier. Okay, so
Okay.
career is something that is there in the cycle or something. So it is career. Okay,
Okay.
so I want to rebuild my career, and um, during the break that I had taken, I not only I have helped my father, but also I started developing new skill sets. I researched about testing. I liked it. I started learning it on different social media platforms. I got so much interested in that I took up a course and learned inside out of manual and automation testing. And right now, I think that I am capable enough to get into the industry and start my career once again. Okay,
Okay.
so
Okay.
like this, if you tell with full of conviction and confidence, then I think the interviewer will be highly impressed. Okay, so this is
Okay.
something you do not have to memorize. Don't memorize. Just keep the points in your mind and try to use some nice sentences to express yourself. Then you will
Okay.
see that it will be a very good impression that you will be able to create at first go. Okay, that's great. Uh, So it was a hell of a journey, I guess, you had starting your career in IT, working in Wipro, and then due to family emergency, you had to quit your job. So how was the feeling when you had quit the job due to family emergency?
The time I feel I need to quit my job is somewhat I'm feeling guilty, but I'm happy in order to help my daddy to do his business because there is a huge loss in business, the family business. So I need to help him. I'm the only person responsible for him to help him.
So here you have used a word which is called as guilty. So guilty is a very strong word. So do not use that. So you can tell that I was extremely disheartened, but looking at the family condition, I thought that uh, it is very important for me to step up and help rather than depending upon the situations to get better. So for that reason, I stepped up and started learning and started helping my father. So do not use the word guilty, regret, or something like that because those are very strong words we try to avoid. Okay.
Okay, okay. In his business. So I'm happy with that.
Okay.
Now I'm happy to again restart my career.
That's good. So I think you have So a good thing that you mentioned that you are happy. It is very important to mention that you are happy because the interviewer will feel that yes, right now she is ready to join once again. If you're not
Okay.
happy, so I have asked this question in various ways, if you see over the time, and every time you have replied with the same answer that you were happy. And that is what the interviewer wants to hear, that you should be happy in spite of facing so many difficulties and challenges. You are happy, and once again, you are rebuilding your career. So you should get the opportunity. So good job on that. Yeah.
Okay.
Lost a huge obstacle in your life. So can you please briefly describe a time you had overcome an obstacle and how did you tackle that?
Mm.
Life has been quite challenging. It was a very easy question for you, right? A great obstacle that you had to overcome. So you should not think, right? Because the greatest obstacle for you was the family issue that you had been facing when you were working. And that is the biggest thing that you have overcome by yourself. So what to think of? There are no other thing that you need to think of, because that is the point you are highlighting from the first line of your sentence. Okay, so don't think. So what happened over here? The interviewer. So what might happen during the time of interview? The interviewer might think that this is not the uh, real answer that you are giving, right? Because you are thinking already, which you have done. You should not think about that. So the interviewer rephrased his question. The interviewer was good. He was telling that life had been so much challenging. So what is the challenge that you face the most? So yeah, for you, right? So definitely, since you mentioned that your father's business were at a huge loss, so that was an obstacle for you. So what did you do that right now everything has got settled and you are once again started focus?
Business actually. So I planned what are the mistakes he has done and what are the issues he is facing, why there is a loss. I analyzed that and I overcome that by taking corrective measures in the business.
Right. So it was the answer was on point. However, as you mentioned that by taking corrective measures, so that means you are once again giving the interviewer an opportunity to ask the question that what type of corrective measures. So it is very important to give your answers. It should be closed ended answers, and so after listening to that, the interviewer should not be able to ask you any more question. Here you have given the opportunity, so it was an open ended answer that you have given. So the first thing that you mentioned is on point, because as a manual tester, you need to identify everything, right? That if it is working, this is working, that is working. So you are analyzing the things. So it is a very good answer that you told, that you analyzed all the points or where the mistake your father had been making. So you could have elaborated a bit more on that. You could have told that I analyzed, I discussed with various business counterparts, because I was also very new to the business. So I had to learn all the things because I am overtaking right now. So I collaborated with various other business counterparts. I learned many things, what mistakes they had done, and I tried to figure out that the mistakes that my father had committed. So I uh, ensured that these are the areas that are required to be fixed. And later, when I asked you the question that you changed all the manual machine or the skilled machines, not machines, or skilled laborers into manual automated machines, something you bought and all. So you could have told it there itself, so that it did not get stretched. Over here, what had happened? You gave an open-ended answer, and I started asking questions. Understood?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And what sorts of corrective measures you had taken to ensure that the loss is recovered soon?
Okay. Um, I imported many missions. Okay. I imported many missions, and I used automated mission instead of an employees. I used an automated missions.
So first of all, you did not mention what type of business your father had been doing. Okay. So the interviewer won't be able to understand what machines, what type of yeah. So you could have given a little bit of understanding that he used to run a bakery system wherein all the all the products that we had were man-made or it required skilled workers. However, we came to, so I got the information that there are various kinds of automated machines as well. So it was one-time investment, and then we can definitely figure out the ways how to make different kinds of bakery products. So I enforced that, and it my plan did work good. And at that time, we did not have to spend a lot of money uh, on the workers' fees and everything, so salary and everything. So that definitely helped me in the business. So the thing is that you should not think this type of answers. Okay, though it was a sudden because you did not mentally prepare. So those answers should be something that should be there in your mind. Okay, it should be on the
Okay.
tip of the tongue. Yeah.
Also, Deep, here Raj Lakshmi, while explaining, use word mission, different types of mission. So it is like meaning differently. So Raj Lakshmi, you have to say machine. It is not mission. Mission is different thing. So that is
Okay.
also you have to miss thing.
Right. That's right. So yes, you are improving in your English or communication, that you can improve with practice. Okay. So just try to be cautious when you are telling something or using some words, so that it gets conveyed in a proper way. Okay.
Okay. Increase.
I guess instead of machines where it required man force, you actually good job.
Thank you.
So normally, how do you handle stress in your life?
Much deep into my mind, and I won't get. I will take as a simple, and I will solve that. I won't take any things that deep into mind. If I get deep into mind, it will get. I will get many. I will get many things in my mind. I won't get deep into that things. Just I will see from a in a
So you basically wanted to convey that you do not deep dive into everything and which can get into your head, and you try to take all the things lightly and handle it in your own way. So it's a good answer, but the way you tried to convey it did not come up with good expression, right? And also you were smiling over here, but I was not able to see you. So the thing is that that connection should be there always. If I'm smiling, you should be able to see and smile. And if you are smiling, I should be able to see and smile. Otherwise, it's like a robot that is ringing in my ears. Okay.
simple way.
I've received a lot of feedbacks where you had been going good and where you had been going wrong. So what is the most critical feedback do you most often receive? Sorry, I didn't get you properly. Can you repeat yourself?
Yeah. I won't repeat the questions. What the interviewer asked.
So I did not get right now as well. So I won't repeat the question what the interviewer had asked. So is it a feedback that you get in your life? So that is a feedback that you can get during the time of your mock interviews, but not in your life, right? A critical
I
feedback
thought a mock
means a
interview.
feedback.
I thought from
No,
last mock
actually,
interview.
no. I asked you that what is the most critical feedback do you often receive? Our parents tell us something, or our business partners or counterparts tell us something, right? Our managers might say that you need to work on this. So you can say that the most critical feedback that I do often receive uh, is to not overstress myself. Okay, so sometimes what happens is that when I get a work, I try to get it done with before the deadline and much ahead before the deadline. So I tend to overstress sometimes. For that reason, that is the feedback that I do get from from people. You can say something like that.
Okay.
This answer that you have said had got actually no meaning. So yes, that's fine. So I guess most of us have got few strengths and weaknesses. So
I trust people easily, and I can't say no. If anyone's need my help, I can't say no. I will help them.
so once again, you are giving an open-ended answer. So you are saying that I can't say no, and because of that reason, this conversation got stretched along a long time. Why? Because you told that you can't say no. Then I gave you a scenario that suppose if someone is asking help, who and you are also occupied with work. So what should you do? And this and that. So those things would not have arisen if you have given a closed answer. And if you have checked my earlier videos or earlier feedback sessions, I always tell that in this kind of questions, it is always better to give some answers which is completely out of the box, and the interview won't be able to question anything. What I tend to say is that I don't consider that there is a weakness as such, because I think that weakness is something which you can overcome with time. So yes, the area of improvement that I think I need in me is I have a tendency to bite my nails. So that is the weakness I think I have in me. But I'm working on that, and I'm very sure that in next few months I would be able to overcome that. So biting your nails. Who will ask questions related to biting your nails, right? But you have told over here an answer, because of which I got a point to right now catch you, okay, and ask you more questions on that. So you will fall in your own pit if you give these kinds of open-ended answers. Actually, working manager has given him or her a task to be done, but he or she is unable to do it. So he has come to you, and he or she is asking for help. That Rajalakshmi, can you please help me in my project because I am not able to do it. So how are you going to help that? So basically, in this type of questions, you should always answer stating that at my work is my priority. Whoever he or she might be a very very close friend of mine, I might guide him or her, but I will only help her after completing my work. If my work is getting affected due to the additional work that I have to do, then I will say no to that work, because at work my work is my priority. Simple as that. No more questions will be asked based on that. Here you tried to play diplomatic. You told that you will do yours. The extra time, overtime, you will work. You will do this and that. What will happen? It is once again an open-ended question. Then the interviewer will ask, if you work overtime, don't you think it will affect your quality? Because if you work more, then definitely it affects the quality of work. So always try to give some close-ended answers which won't invite new challenging questions.
Okay.
Understood? Are you able to understand and relate to the things that I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I understand.
Okay, is it helping you? Are you getting a proper idea now?
Yeah, now I'm getting.
Okay, that's good. Approach in that kind of a scenario.
At the time, I will complete my work first, and then I will see whether I know the technology, what he is asking, whether I
So the thing is that if you are engaged in your work, you won't be able to give time to his work. So how will you adjust your time? You're
complete my work.
ready to
Yeah,
work overtime as well. So don't you
yeah.
think that if you overexhaust yourself, or if you work too hard for someone else's work, for the next day when you come to office and when you start working on your project, it will affect the quality of work for your. So if you can see, it landed up to that question. It will affect your quality of work. So we should avoid these questions because these questions during the live situations might become very, very challenging. You might think that, "Ore, kya bolu iske baad?" So very important that you try to avoid. But if this question arises, it's the best way to answer that. Your work is your priority. I'll complete my work at first, and if I have additional time, then I'll take his job. And if I think that my quality is getting affected due to someone else's work or my additional work that I have to take, then I will say no. It is because I think that saying no and getting yourself clear will have a clear picture in the mind of that person as well. So our relation won't get affected, and uh, and that professionalism should also be there. That we should have the time to say yes and no to certain situations, and that idea is very important to be depicted to other people as well. Okay, so
Okay.
it's important to say. So definitely if we extend our shifts, or if we take a lot.
Over my time in my project to complete my work.
Okay, so what do you think are the three main qualities that you see within every software tester?
I will deliver the quality product. Okay. Mm, quality product. And the delivered product meets the customer expectations and requirements. And
So the three basic qualities that should be present not only in every software tester but every thing is, number one, since you will be in the testing domain, so quality product is very important. So you should always say that meeting to the customer's expectation is the first point. Okay. Second, delivering the quality product, and third will be the communication, because a tester needs to coordinate with the developers and the communication should be extremely clear. It's a vital 3 points for being a good tester. Okay.
okay.
So are you not finding it difficult to switch your profile from SAP to software testing?
No, because during my gap, I have learned many technologies. As already I said, automation testing, Java, manual testing, I have learned. I have developed interest over here.
Okay, that's good. So this was a good answer that there had been no challenge, but I have developed my skills, and right now I'm confident enough that with my skill sets that I have developed over the time, I would be able to crack any job or any opportunity. So it was a good answer. So I'm done with that. Before we start the technical round, you can have. Okay.
No, I'm comfortable with that.
Right. So first of all, if someone is offering what I told you in the last interview as well, always say thank you. So
Okay.
thank you. I'm comfortable with that. Fine. Okay.